And I want to talk to you and ask you some questions about why did I create the Coherence Project, Living in a New Earth? What's my motivation for being here? And really, it comes down to this question: how do we know that trust is being rebuilt? How do I know that trust is being, and why is trust important? It's important because trust and anxiety, or trust, is the antidote to anxiety. And there's no lack of anxiety in our world today. I mean, here in America, you've got chaos in our governments, you've got wars all over the world. I mean, if you don't feel some anxiety living in this world we're living in today, then you're not like most of us. So the question is, what is it we do with this anxiety? What do we do with anxiety? Because this is what we do. We turn it into trust. Because I have discovered, I'm going to say this twice, I have discovered trust is the antidote to anxiety. I'm going to say that again. Trust is the antidote to anxiety. When we learn to trust life and we learn to trust ourselves, we live with less fear. Fear is no longer controlling our lives. Something much deeper. I call that coherence. We are much, we remember who we are, really. We remember who we are when we're in coherence. But you can't get into coherence. You can't, trust is very difficult when you have anxiety. But I can tell you this, if you can, and I can teach you how to do this, what we do is we learn to transmute into trust and the love that comes with that. Because when we're driven by love and not by fear, the whole world looks different. And that's why I created the Coherence Project, Living in the New Earth program, to teach people, share with people my experiences of how I get into coherence and how I transmute fear and anxiety into trust and love. And when we're in a place of trust and loving, again, fear doesn't take over our lives. It's not controlling our lives. And this is where I get to do it. I get to do it on this beautiful farm. If you're following me a little bit on this understanding about trust and anxiety, do me a favor and put a yes in the comment section. Let me know you're listening to me. Now today, I'm not following a script. It's my second time going live on Substack. And let me just take it back up and tell you how much I really do appreciate Substack. I don't know about you guys, but as a creator, someone who loves to create, whether that's an article or live streaming. I haven't done live streaming in years, and I just love doing it. I've gotten older, so I need to keep notes sometimes so I can remember to say everything I want to say. But it's just, it's fun. It's fun to share your wisdom. It's fun to share your experiences, and that's what we do here. That's what I do here. That's what sets me apart. I don't. None of my articles. My cousin asked me one time, "But isn't it all your opinion?" I said, "No, it's not actually my opinion. I'm sharing my experiences in all of my articles. And I'm here right now with you sharing my experience of living on this farm with my family, with my brothers. In a few minutes, I'm going to get to feed the horses. And so I created this platform so that we could experience coherence together. One conversation at a time. You know, we are we are creating more trust in the world by creating more coherence in the world, one coherent conversation at a time. Follow me? And that's what makes Substack so cool. I'm a substitute teacher, and I'm retired. I'm almost 72 years old, and I'm retired, and work as a substitute teacher in the summer. I mean, in the fall, and I gotta say, I love doing it, and it doesn't pay a whole lot, but I like getting paid, and that's kind of the same way here. I love sharing my wisdom with you, and I love writing my articles, and it's nice to get paid a little bit. And for $7.77 a month, that's about 26 cents a day. You can dive in. Not only do you keep supporting me and helping me put out the content that's going to help change your lives, but we add some extra things inside that paid platform that we hope will make it worthwhile for you and really add some value to it. And so you could say our mission in the world is to restore trust in the world, one coherent conversation at a time. That's what we're here for. We're here to restore trust in the world. And think about how this world would be if everyone trusted each other. I don't trust everybody out there right now. I don't know about you. But before I can trust them, I got to learn to trust myself. And anxiety and fear make it very challenging sometimes. Give me a yes if you're following me. So, if you join us for a free subscription, that's wonderful. And I would appreciate you doing that. But I'm going to invite you to go just a little bit deeper. Okay. I want to make sure I give you all the reasons. With your subscription, your paid subscription of $7.77 a month, you get live workshops, not lectures, but we have live workshops, conversations back and forth about how do you transmute fear and anxiety into trust and love. I'm going to talk about exactly how I do it. I'm going to show you in a real live situation, and you can ask me certain questions. You can ask me how to do it. You'll learn how to do it from me doing it with you. Deeper reflections. Uh, we're going to show you how to bring more trust into your life. And we know what I really like about this is we are becoming we are a community. What I'm building here is a community of thoughtful, mindful people who want to share their lives and live more in trust and integrity with the world. They're people who want to ask and listen to the same questions that you do. We want to live in a deeper sense of integrity with ourselves and others. And here's a safe place for us to do those for those conversations. You know, and this is the kind of conversations we want to have. We don't want to have conversations that are divisive. Think about the word coherent. It's about inclusiveness. It's about bringing things into harmony. So the conversations we're going to have are meant to not judge or condemn, but to listen with curiosity and compassion to try to really get to know and love and understand each other. You see, real conversations with real people who are doing extraordinary things. And that makes us all feel good. And that's one way of bringing down the anxiety and building more trust. It's an opportunity to have conversations that truly build trust because we can tell the truth to each other. And the other thing is, and this is one of the real reasons, is you get to help me participate in the humanitarian work we're doing with Diamond Mind Academy. About 4 years ago, I went to Nairobi to meet somebody to deliver a cell phone, and his name is Abba Henry. And it turned out that I committed my life to the work I'm doing now in Africa, and that's to help safely resettle marginalized and vulnerable East Africans, or all Africans really, many of them living in refugee camps in difficult situations. Our intention is to help them get respectable lives. One story is, good story is that, excuse me, I inherited, let me get some water. One good story is in the process of this, and I won't go too long into this, and I want you to meet him one of these days. Is inherit, I adopted two young men to be my sons, and gave them my last name, Ben Cowart. That's where I got the name Kintu. My son named me Kintu. It means a father of Uganda. So, and he now has been resettled into Canada, and he is in Ottawa. And what we do at the Diamond Mine Academy, we helped him on that journey. Another victory we got month of July is we've got two men who were in another refugee camp in another country, in the country of Zambia, and they're now living in resettled in British Vancouver. And the thing is, it takes money to support these people on their journey because there's not very many resources. Now, I don't want to go too far down that on that, but I want you to know that your subscriptions, your $7.77 a month, help you be part of that movement, and I greatly appreciate that. So, what do we get? You get to support me and help me if you like my content. You get to go into deeper dives. You get to go to workshops, live workshops with me. I'm going to teach you some things that no one else can teach you because no one else has done it the way I do it. I mean, yeah, people do transmute fear into and anxiety into love um, and trust, and that's the way we move. We get into coherence, but that's practice. I'm almost 72 years old, and this is all I do. And I even do it when I substitute teach. It's like part of my mission is to teach people how to live in this state of coherence, this state of harmony with the universe. You know, and one of the big things, and I'm sure you've all by now, most of anybody who's part of this world today is familiar with Eckhart Tolle and his famous The Power of Now, which he put out back in I think the early '70s, I believe. Um, I forgot when that book came out, but it sure changed everybody's life. I can tell you that because that's what we're talking about, the eternal now, getting into this moment. And when we get into the eternal now, then it's everything else becomes easy. So when we make the eternal now, getting into coherence, our primary number one priority of every single day, everything else unfolds beautifully because we're no longer in fear. We're living in trust for ourselves, living in trust for life. So again, for $7.77 a month, you can get these deeper, more expansive reflections, and we're going to give you some real tools that are going to make a big difference in your life. Let me see if I covered everything I was going to cover. Yeah, one thing I want to say about trust: we have to practice trust. We have to do stuff. We have to practice stuff. We can't just sit back and hope to trust ourselves in the world. We have to take the next right action. There's something we were discovering over here at Diamond Mine Academy that I just love, and that is, what do we do when we feel fear? What do we do when we feel fear? Well, number one, we pause and we allow ourselves to feel it, really feel it. And when we do that, we begin to remember who we are. We begin to remember that we are deeply connected to Prime Source Creator, what some call Allah, some call God. But the source is only one. There's only one source of creation, and you and I are that. We are deeply connected to that. It's deeply connected as a wave is to the ocean. And when you remember that, you also remember you're not helpless. And when you're not helpless, when you know you're not helpless, you can ask yourself, what is the next practical, loving step I can take to move forward? So that again, what is the next? Don't worry about the future, but in this moment, what is the next practical, loving step that's going to move me forward. Maybe that's to take a nap. Maybe that's to uh, create for me, is to create a fundraising campaign. It might be what I did this afternoon. I sat and held someone's hand across energetically, living in Africa, who was alone living on the street, and he needed someone to talk to. So just before coming live, I spent about 30 minutes just sitting like this, holding his hand, telling him I love him. He's not alone. That was one practical, loving next step. You'll know it because when you're living in coherence, when you're living in the now, that's what it is. We're living moment to moment to moment. And these are the kind of conversations we're going to have here in this program, the Coherence Project, Living in the New Earth. So if you listen to me, give me a chat. Oh, one thing, comment, send me thumbs up and let me know. Ask me things, send me comments in the replay. Because you and I both know, and this is my experience. I'm familiar with people who are more famous than me, probably experience people showing up for lives. I often get a few people and gets getting more and more, thank goodness. Um, but people do, more people actually watch the replay. And I go back and read all the comments, because that's where I learn what you want to learn about. So if you're watching the replay, which many of you are, please, please, please put your comments in the comment section and let me read them, so I can kind of know what you can give me some directions, because that way I know more what we want to talk about. This is a give and take kind of thing. So put your comments in and let me know what you think of this, of what I'm saying. I appreciate that. And also, if you don't think I'm, if you don't, and I take negative, not negative feedback, but I'll take any kind of feedback that's constructive. If you got something you think I should do differently, tell me. I'd be happy to do it. But I like positive vibes. Okay, that's kind of my thing. I don't bring me any negative vibe. But we're all, the Coherence Project is all about positive vibes. So let me see if I covered everything I wanted to cover today. I think I did. This has been fun, and I really do hope that you would bring out your credit card and sign up for our paid subscription of $7.77 a month and become part of our community. And you see all the things that it helps to do. You get workshops, you get live conversations with me, and we get to learn. I get to share skills and practical tools you can use to get into coherence, to be able to transmute fear and anxiety into trust. I mean, look at this. I'm going to teach you how to make anxiety your superpower. Okay, it is. Trust me on this. Anxiety, if you learn how to transmute it, it's got a lot of energy in it, got a lot of fear energy in it, and if you learn how to transmute it into trust, into love, it becomes your superpower. And just think how much anxiety you probably feel like you can fear you're living in right now that could be used. So there's no shortage of that. So thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for watching the replay. And please join the community. I just would love to get to know you and, bring you into my life. And I like to be in yours. Okay? Remember, just we are finding the solution to rebuilding trust in the world. And that's how we create the new earth. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me see if I can turn this off.